What is up guys, Faraz here today and welcome to Faraz Gaming. By the title of this video you should already be aware of the contents, but today we're talking about the support role in League of Legends that many believe is either useless, boring, or in general rewardless. And my job here is to prove those people wrong and hopefully be able to give some tips on how to be a good support. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this shit. Alright, so I'm going to start by answering some of the most common questions asked about supports in League of Legends. And we're going to start with, why play support? Fair question. Support is an extremely fun and important role in the game, just like every other role is. This role wouldn't exist if it wasn't as necessary as the others, so don't be discouraged by just hearing the word support. As a support, the vision of the map depends on you, meaning that you should be warding so you can see if their jungler is ganking and you've just prevented a mass genocide, my friend. Or you can deward the opponent's ward and attack their vulnerable jungler while he's still getting his red buff. You can be the difference between a loss and a won game. Your team needs you in single fights and in team fights. Just like a jungler, you can gank or you can poke, similar to an ADC. But remember, support doesn't just mean literally supporting your ADC, but verbally supporting your entire team. So you need to communicate with the team, motivate them, because a lot of comebacks depend on you. Now we're going to move to another question, which is, can you carry as a support? Well, of course you can. Yes, sometimes you might meet newbie ADCs, but by staying strong yourself, with the help of your mid or jungler or top and perfect vision through the map, you can help gank most of their members and sway the game in your favor and give time for your ADC to catch up. And well, if you're still not convinced, I suggest you don't continue this video because only professionals want to know how to play every role in the game. But that aside, let's move to tip numero uno. That is actually number one for you guys that don't know. I just wanted to sound cool, you know. But let's just move on, yeah? First rule, do not last hit. This is the opposition characteristic of supports from every other role in the game. You do not want to last hit simply because you need to make your ADC fat and strong, since most of them are item dependent and need a lot of gold. Supports, on the other hand, we are made to use little amount of gold, which usually comes from runes, masteries, and items. So you see a minion or a vulnerable enemy champion, help lower its health, but let your teammate get its main gold. Don't get me wrong though, you need items too. So do participate, since every assist counts for your teammates and yourself. Now there are exceptions to this rule. For instance, when your ADC is at the base and you can clear a wave of minions without any danger, then do so, because your own tower and minions will instead, and you will get nothing out of it. Second rule, play smart and don't wait for opportunities. Create them instead for your team and especially for your ADC. For instance, if you're Blitz, use your pull to pull the enemy champion, separate them from their teammates and kill them one by one. This way both you and the ADC have gotten gold, you've grown obese and fat, your ADC can farm, you can destroy towers, and you can ward. Speaking of wards, the third rule is warding, which are items that give more vision on the dark areas of the map. Now I cannot stress this enough, but wards might not seem as important as a damage item, but trust me, sometimes those free wards can save the entire team from falling into a trap. There are many types of wards and all champions can get one warding totem for free, so technically everyone should be setting their own wards. But an ADC needs to focus more on her attack damage and last hitting rather than wards, right? So that is why supports come into play, because it is our role to ward most of the map and deward at the same time. By the way, for those people who don't know what dewarding is, it's basically when you look for enemy wards and destroy them. Now in this game I didn't deward at all, mainly because I hadn't known the importance at the time. So warding and dewarding can go one of two ways. You either use them to protect yourself and your teammates from getting ganked, or look for vulnerable opponents and gank them instead. You also have to ward monsters such as Dragon and Baron, so you know if the opponents are attacking the dragon, you all can go and steal the dragon by last hitting it and kill the opponents at the same time. That's gonna help a lot to win the game. And remember, always ward the river, because that is where most ganks happen. Moving on to the fourth rule, support your team. Communicate with them, ping them, let them know if someone's going for them. Since you don't have to focus on last hitting minions, use that time to look at your warded areas and see if anyone is missing, or if you think your allies on top should not gank mid because they might die. Be the captain, lead your team in and out of team fights, create opportunities. If you're Thresh or Blitz, pull the vulnerable ones. If you're Leona or Alistar, tank into the enemies and let your ADC and mid do the rest. In general, help keep your team together and motivate them. There were so many times we were losing for the entire game, but one little mistake from the opponents and one smart play from us changed the entire game. So stop thinking about surrendering at 20 minutes into the game and try to win more. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and if you thought it was helpful, leave a like. If you have any feedback, comment. And if you want to stay tuned for more tips on how to do different roles in League of Legends, well, subscribe, because that's the only way you can stay tuned. Subscribe. Subscribe. Subscribe!